for this one, if you could start with hi, my name's Al Thomas, and then go straight into it, take as long as you like.
Hi, my name is Al Thomas, and I want to thank Mr. James Hsu and Mr. Kent Wong for having me do this interview. And I hope it blesses and helps anybody out there that sees this, because entrepreneurship is something that's very important and needed today, as Robert Kiyosaki talks about. But guys like me who's been in the industry for 24 years, you can hear it from people like me. It's not something new. We all have some ups and downs to go through, but the best industry in the world is network marketing. And I think it's got off to a bad taste with people thinking it's, the A word, but here again, network marketing does work, especially for entrepreneurs, especially business owners. They really understand. If you understand business, this is the next level of business, of being an entrepreneur in the network marketing industry. It's created more millionaires than any other industry in the world. I was in real estate and I did well there, made my first million by the time I was 30. But in network marketing, I could do it in a short period of time without the headaches and have more quality time. I've been mentored by 3 billionaires, and I've been fortunate to be mentored by 3 billionaires, and they gave me some insights when I was doing real estate. And then my first billionaire mentor said, look, son, there's 2 things you really need to have to be successful, and which most people never have. He says, first of all, let me ask you a question. Have your mom and dad sat down at the table? Did they ever talk to you about leverage and residual, about money? I go, no. My parents already told me to go to school, right? Get a good education, go find a good job. When we think about it, there's no such thing as a good job. But we've been sold that bill of goods, so to speak. And my billionaire mentor said, son, I'm gonna teach you 2 keys. If you get these down, you'll be a very wealthy individual and you'll be very well off. And I said, okay, what's the first key? So I opened my journal up. He says, the first key I'm gonna give you is a word called leverage. So I wrote the words leverage down. He says, leverage, let me explain it to you. He says, how many Starbucks here in Las Vegas? 1 or zillion? I go, zillions of them. He says, absolutely. What if you got a quarter on every cup of coffee that was sold today, and you were not in Starbucks with a green apron on called a barista? I go, that's a lot of money. He goes, exactly. All wealthy people have outlets. The problem is, most people, if they don't go to work tomorrow, they don't make any money. He says, Burger King, zillions of them. CVS's, Walgreens, McDonald's, you name it, most industries have a lot of outlets, even supermarkets. He goes, that's the problem. You got to duplicate yourself. So that's a key. The second key he wrote down, he gave me to write down in my journal, was a word called residual income. He says, do you know what that means, son? I said, yes, I do. It means a ring around the bathtub. He goes, no, that's called residue. Residual income means something you do once and you get paid over and over and over and over and years later on something you do one time. And how he broke it down to me, he says, think about your favorite music artist or band. How many times did that artist go in the studio or band and cut the song? Boop, 1 time. That's right, 1 time. And anytime that song plays anywhere in the world, that artist gets paid a royalty. Now think about it. They're not that bright, he said. If you think I'm lying, go watch MTV. Think about it. Those guys on MTV, they're not that bright, but why do they have a big mansion, bank account, 20 cars in the driveway? Well, and they're so dumb they carry their name around their neck. My name is Bobo, right there, Bobo. But why is Bobo wealthy and successful? Bobo tapped into the residual income of his business. He sings a song 1 time, and anytime he plays, he gets paid. Like one of my guys I love, I'm a Michael Jackson fan. I mean, he made $1 billion almost the year he passed away. Dead. Elvis Presley, about 84 million last year, been dead for 20 years. So here again, residual income is the way of the wealthy. So to get leverage and residuals are 2 components that escape most entrepreneurs. When I was an entrepreneur starting off in real estate, I didn't own the business, it owned me. That's the problem in most traditional businesses. It owns you. You have to show up every day. If nobody shows up, guess what? Tag, you're it. So when I got turned on to network marketing 24 years ago, it made sense to me. And there's 2 sides. There's a product side and there's a service side. And the service industry is I sign somebody at one time, they'll say no more in life, I get paid over and over and over again. And that really appealed to me. So I got started, and let's put it this way, by my 3rd year, I was making more in 1 month than some people make in a year. And I've been very conservative with that because I don't want to give numbers. But here again, the idea, it does work. Think about it. Every time you pay your cell phone or internet or any bill, somebody's getting a piece of that. And here's the problem, you'll never meet them. So network marketing in the industry I'm involved with, it works, and it works so well. I got about 18 guys and girls I've trained over 24 years that are millionaires in this industry. So it's not a fad, it's just something that's needed today. And you're finding more and more people, as the economy gets worse, are involved in network marketing. The problem is there's a lot of good companies and there's a whole lot of bad ones out there. And you'll see people jump from industry to industry or company to company. That's not how you do it. To be a professional, and listen what I'm saying, and listen very closely. To be a professional, you need at least 10,000 hours or 7 years in that same company. That's how you make it to the top. You know, I've been fortunate enough to be at the top of 2 network marketing companies. I mean, my 4th year doing over 100K a month. I mean, 5th year it just kept going. But why? I'm nobody special. I understood that I had to stick and stay till I get my back. Just stay focused. And so many people think the grass is greener in another deal, the new one coming up. Look, in 24 years, I've seen 17 product companies go to the wayside. I'm still standing. The reason why a lot of people jump from company to company, number one, they get complacent. Okay, they may lose a position or they want to jump because they don't want to go back to work. They think because they arrive in a certain position, they get complacent and they don't want to work. And the grass, sometimes it looks green on the other side. It's not green, it's actually brown. And, you know, your grass would be green too if you water it and stay in there. And I think a lot of times people get the notion that this one didn't work and they go do another company. But in fact, they need to look in the mirror and find out that it's themselves. They have number one, they need personal development. And very few companies have personal development to develop the person into the individual they need to have to get to the next level of income. So a lot of companies don't have personal development in store for that new person. So people tend to think that if I don't become a millionaire overnight, it doesn't work. No, it's not that. You just need to work on yourself. Personal development to me is key. And the reason why a lot of people jump from company to company, it's sad for the industry, but it doesn't give you very much credibility. I've been in 2 network marketing companies. I've been the top of both of them because I understand longevity and long term. So if you are serious about pursuing network marketing as a profession, like I am a professional network marketer, I suggest you get with the company, number one, get a good leader or mentor to mentor you, and number 2, get in the service industry side of it. That's where the money's at, long term. See, like I said, in 24 years, I've seen 17 different companies come and go because number one, the average person doesn't know the difference between an apple and an orange and think all companies are the same. There's variations of them, big difference. And that's why I've done so well for so long. And I'm thankful for that, and I'm counting my blessings every day. You know, one of my hardest moments is actually getting started. You know, I think that's the key for everybody. When I got started in the industry 24 years ago, it's finding a mentor. Luckily for me, I've read everything I get my hands on to. My sponsor didn't help me, so I don't want to hear the excuse, you know, your sponsor, you know, pull your big boy and big girl britches up and just wipe your nose and go after it. You know, I always thought about this, if it's to be, it's up to me. You know, and I have always been that kind of person. Too many times people get in network marketing, want somebody to make them successful or because they can't do this or that for them. It's got nothing to do with your sponsor. Your sponsor is good for one thing, ladies and gentlemen, and that's to bring in the program and show the opportunity. The rest is up to you. The blessing is I understand what it takes to be a leader. And what it takes to be a leader is, number one, set your sights on your goal and then roll your sleeves up and go to work. The only place that success comes before work is in a dictionary. And most people, I hate to say it, in America, are lazy. We want something for nothing. You know, people play the lottery all day long. You know, your chance of getting hit by lightning twice is stronger than, you know, getting, you know, it's just ridiculous. People want something for nothing. But anything worth having takes work. You know, you're married, husband or wife, takes work. Got a kid, boy, that takes some work. Anything of value, keyword here is value, takes work. Now, plan A, you can work 1 to 30 years at a company, making them rich. They give you a tip called a paycheck. Or number 2, you can work your business part-time and be off of it in no time. So you tell me what's more important, plan A or plan B. Plan A, work 1 to 30 years, or plan B, work 1 to 5. Well, I think plan B is better. Get it done in 5. If you mess up plan B, you got 25 years left to go work plan A. Is that fair? But here again, most people take it like a lottery. They don't take it seriously. They play with this business. It's a serious profession, and you should treat it that way. You know, so don't mess around with it. If you're going to get serious with it. It doesn't take much, but the key is most people hear a couple no's and they don't believe it works for them. You have to put time and effort into it. Anything worth having, like I said, takes work. You know, I think about you know, a plane. A plane is meant to fly. It's not meant to run around the ground. The hardest part for a plane is getting it off the ground. The hardest part about your network marketing business is getting it off the ground, because once you get off the ground, it will fly. And it'll take you places you'll never imagine if you treat it professionally. You know, my favorite book that I've read really is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I call it the Bible or the gospel of business. So everything hinged around that. When I first got going, I read that and read it 3 or 4 times, and I still read it once a year. There's a lot of great books that came out recently. One is called GoPro. I mean, I think it's fabulous for people, for the industry as a whole, because it shows the professionalism that we are involved in. It's not a nickel and dime business or your mother's that or dad's that, but it's a serious way to look at this business. And I think the way the economy is going and people are losing jobs, there's some people got more degrees than a thermometer, broker than a joke, and did everything right. You know, they went to college, got 1 degree, 2 degrees, they still can't make it. They dot the I's, cross the T's, they still can't make it. And that book also shows the professionalism of our industry in a professional life. These days, everybody can get a business card and say they're an entrepreneur. I'm a business entrepreneur. But here again, what are you doing? What have you done? Or what are you doing? You know, so it goes back to not just talking the talk, but walking the walk by showing your actions. And what have you done? You know, I think of Janet Jackson song, "What Have You Done For Me Lately?" Because a lot of people say they're entrepreneurs, but they're not really entrepreneurs. An entrepreneur is a person who's taken upon themselves to have a goal and working every day toward that goal. I'm a big on goal setting. I was sharing with my organization the other day. I've got 24 years of goal setting in a thick book about 4 inches thick about goals every year I've set for the last 24 years, and I revisit them every year, and I write new ones every year. Because I want to see and measure my success and measure my life. And it's funny, when I look back at my goals, December 20th, I end my year every year, December 20th. Why? Because I'm an entrepreneur. That gives me 11 days head start on the average person. So with 11-day head start, I'm already thinking into 2016 or 2017 or the year before that. But more important with the goal, it shows me how much I have grown. I mean, I look back at some of my goals, I laugh today, but 24 years ago or 20 years ago or 18 years ago or 15 years ago, they were like, whoa, these are big goals. And now they look so minute, because once you hit them, you can reset them. And a lot of people become an entrepreneur, they hit a goal and they stop. An entrepreneur is always growing him or herself into more goals, more leadership, and working on themselves. The day you think you know it all, go visit a library and it'll show you exactly what you don't know. So to be an entrepreneur, it takes you to stay on top of your business, keep building people and helping people achieve success in your business. That's what a true entrepreneur is. Now, somebody's done something once, and like I said, I've been on top of 2 companies. Once a miracle, twice it takes work. And here again, that's what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is always in phase 1 of building his or her business. My greatest fear one morning, I tell you a little joke. I woke up, my greatest fear is I woke up one night and I had a nightmare. And I ran in my office real quick. I got up out of my bedroom and I ran down the hall. I was keep running down, well, it's a long hall. And I ran down the hall. Finally got to my office and I ran in there real quick. And I looked around and saw all my business stuff. And I thought, whew, man, there was no such company I worked for. In other words, my company didn't exist, of ACN. And I like, oh my God, now I gotta go get a job. That was a fear. But the funny part about this, think about it. Can you imagine me working at Starbucks as a barista with a green apron on and a green hat, talking about, can I help you? No. Once you've been an entrepreneur as long as I have, it's hard to think that way. So that's my biggest fear. I've been involved in the industry for 24 years. Like I said, I only had 1 job prior to this, a 9-to-5 job for 9 months, and I hated to be told what to wear, what to show up. I hated it. Got involved in real estate at 18, and by 30 made my first $1 million and never looked back, never had a job. I've always been an entrepreneur my whole life. And I have my passion to help people, my passion and ability to know that I can get more and do more and be more, because I never wanted anybody to tell me how much I'm worth. I never want anybody to put a ceiling on my income. I never want anybody to tell me what to wear to work. I can't stand it. I despise it. I mean, that's why this very day I don't wear socks most of the time, because I don't like them. But I don't want to be told what I have to do, where to show up. I never did like that. So I figured my alternative was be an entrepreneur and be the best that I could be at what I am, and keep learning every day to be a better man, a better father, a better leader, and a better person. You know, to be successful as an entrepreneur, you got to put time. You got to make the time. You make time to go golfing, you make time to watch Bugs Bunny, you make time to go to work, you make time for all this other goofy stuff, to watch goofy movies on TV that they want to entertain you, to watch sports. That's why those guys make so much money, because you're watching them make millions of dollars. Who's watching you make your first $1 million? You know what? So I was committed to turn the TV set off, draw the line in the sand and say, you know what? I want the better things. I'm willing to work diligently to get those things. So here again, it takes commitment. Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple keys. Number one, commitment. What are you committed to? I was committed to my success, because if I'm not committed, nobody else is committed. Too many people could work every day and hate what they do, but they're not doing anything to change that. To me, that's sad and that's pitiful and that's ridiculous. Commitment. Be committed to something. Number two, have a burning desire to achieve success for you and your family. You know, if you can work every day 8 hours a day for somebody else, don't give a rat's back in about you. Why not be committed to your own business and have a burning desire for your own business? Who's going to treat you better, you or them? Number three, never ever quit. God, Winston Churchill's famous quote, I love that. Never quit. Never quit what you're doing. Stay focused. Take a vacation, but stay focused. And next, number four, I say be determined to see the job through. So many people start and quit, they start, they quit, they start, they go somewhere. Be determined to see the job through. And number five, persistent pays off. A drop of water could hit a concrete pavement. And you know what, after a while there's a little groove, after a while there's a hole. But if it's persistent, you gotta be persistent in this business. When you think of my company, you think of me, I want you to think of me. So here again, by being a long-term person in investment in your network marketing business, have some integrity, have some chutzpah, I call it, and have strong work ethic. Strong work ethic goes a long way in this business. Look, everything took time to build. Everything. It didn't happen overnight. Everything was in somebody's idea or somebody's mind. The house you're sitting in right now, do you realize it was somebody's mind first? They had an idea. It came from there first. And then that person wrote it down on a piece of paper. They took it to an architect and say, here's, I want you to plan this all out and write it all out for me. They took the plans from the architect and then they put it to the builder, and the builder built on the property, and people, then they saw the vision. But before, it was just a piece of property. So you have to have a vision for yourself and plan it out that way. And then people will see it. Because in the beginning, remember, that lot was vacant. Nobody saw the potential. And then all of a sudden they put up a little sign showing exactly what's going to be on that lot. And you still didn't see it yet until it fully developed. And that's the same thing with network marketing or being an entrepreneur. You got to stick in there. You got to have all these qualities I just spoke of. And don't quit. Don't ever quit. People are looking around hoping you quit. No, you can't ever quit. You know, it blows my mind if you could put an hour or two a day in your own network marketing business, but yet still you go 8 hours with somebody else, will give a rat's back in about you, can let you go, fire you, downsize you, or have you move across the country. That's ridiculous to me, for peanuts. And you won't put a little bit of time in a business for you and your family. I've never seen it. Yeah, it blows my mind how the wife go one way in the morning, husband go one way, and they meet in the evening and don't even barely know each other. Why not put an hour together as a couple in your own business together? What would you be in a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from today? A lot further than you are today. So I want to thank you all for listening to this, but that's the key to making it big in network marketing. What's next? My goal in 2016, and I sit down with my team and have goals. My goal is this. I've done a lot, been a lot of places. I take 8 vacations a year. My goal this year is to be, my assignment, if you will, is to help more people. That's my assignment. My assignment is to help more people. And I get fulfilled by that. In the beginning, I'm not going to lie, it's about the money. Yeah, it is in the beginning. I'll never forget when I first got in network marketing, I got down on one knee. I said, Lord, if I can make 25 grand a month, I'll be the happiest Christian you got. I never forget that prayer. And about a year and a half later, I get back on that same knee and said, Lord, I lied. I can't live off that a little bit. But once you pass the money achievement and be able to donate money back to your church and help your pastor buy a big church and, you know, give back to the community in different ways, and silently and quietly things you do that I don't like to talk about because there's nobody's business but mine and the man upstairs, but to be a blessing and a conduit to help more people. And that's about giving back. So my goal this year is to give back a lot more, and also just help more people that really want help. There's an old saying you can only help people who want help, and above all else want to help themselves. Can you and I truly help them? They gotta want help. And there's a lot of people say they want better things, but they're not willing to put the actions behind their words. Oh, sure, everybody wants some, you know, beginning of the year, what's the 3 lies, you know? Hey, I want to lose more weight. Can't help you there. Number 2, I want to stop smoking. Okay, great, can't be there either. Number 3, make some more money. Aha, 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 aha. I can help you there. But then again, do you really want to and sacrifice the things you need to do to make that, or are you just saying that? Here again, all I'm asking you to do is commit an hour a day in the beginning. If you give 8 hours to somebody else, why can't you pay yourself too? And with the 2, we can parlay that over time, that you get the 2, we'll get rid of the 8. It takes a little bit of time, but it can be done. I see it happen over and over and over and over and over again. So it goes back to the individuals. Here again, the playing field in network marketing is level. We don't care your background, we don't care your nationality, we don't care if you're from Yale or from jail. It's got nothing to do with all that. It's got everything to do your commitment level to yourself to accomplish things you say you want to do. You want to bring your mother home, wife home, are you committed to it? Well, let's go to work. That's all it takes, is work. Character of my life as an entrepreneur. Done. I've done it. 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 I've done it for 24 years. The first couple years was a struggle, yes. Anything, like I said, goes back there. It's a struggle, but it's done. I've done the things I want to do. I've been the place I want to be. I've lived in the homes I want to live in. I drive the cars I want to live. I have several homes. I mean, you know, I've had my own jet, twice, 3 jets. I mean, I've done it all. I mean, for me, I mean, been in banking. I've done a lot, and I'm not trying to say to be bragging, but I try to downplay it because you wouldn't believe the freedom that we have in network marketing. When I got the call to do this, I'm sure I could do it because why? I'm free. What time you want to do? I'm free. I'm free. And there's enough. You can't put a price on freedom. And so many people take 2 weeks off a year, and they end up staying home because they can't afford to go nowhere, or they spend more time planning their vacation than they do their future. How sad is that? You know, when you could be born in America, the land of the home of the brave, have freedom, but yet still I see more people in chains here because they're not willing to try something different and get out their comfort zone. Folks, you're already not comfortable. You're already paycheck to paycheck. You know, work will never kill you. Stress will. The stress of having enough bills and not enough money to pay. Stress will kill you. I love this lifestyle because I'm going to tell you something. For a young man my age, I only have one job for 9 months and be totally free for the rest of his life. You tell me. You tell me. Now let me ask you a question. Would you want to be like that? Then come join network marketing.